Imagine living in a world without any sound.
Bread of life, there are no disabilities.
Because everyone speaks the same language.
Hello, it's good to see you again in another episode of Expat Living. Now, in this episode, we're going to travel to the central city of Da Nang to visit a very special restaurant whose name you just heard from a previous clip, Bread of Life. Now, Bread of Life is more than just a restaurant. It's a project that has been encouraging, educating, and providing employment opportunities for the deaf people in central Vietnam for the past 10 years. Now, the one who've created Bread of Life are Bob and Catherine Huff from the United States, who have considered Vietnam their second home for 17 years. So let's meet with them right now. Bob Huff, a U.S. veteran, and his wife, Catherine, a former teacher from the U.S. state of Kansas, had always wanted to support disadvantaged people in Vietnam. This desire has led them to a life-changing journey to Vietnam in February 1998.
When we first came, we were involved in a USAID project called Adaptive Vocational Training for Adolescents with Disability. What we did was help them get skill training, job training. We helped over 2,000 disabled kids in 3 provinces, Hải Dương, Da Nang, Quảng Nam, in the first 5 years we were here. After the 5 years, they wanted us to move to another country. But we, at that time, had fallen in love with Vietnam. We didn't want to go. By then, we'd fallen in love with the deaf.
We saw the deaf as a particularly needy group in that they were perfectly capable people, but they didn't have the opportunities. Even a mobility impaired child is still able to go to school, but a deaf person doesn't have that opportunity. If they're one of the lucky few to go to a deaf school, it's still just a 5th grade education. And so many of them, particularly from the countryside, have never even heard of sign language. They don't know there is a way to communicate.
They only had one problem, and that problem was communication. If we could solve communication, then we could take care of most of the problems in their life. So that's what we started doing.
And so we thought, well, how can we help? So we thought, well, we can start some small business. We can help a few kids, and so we began Bread of Life, and a few kids grew into many more kids.
This project, Bread of Life, is the result of our endeavor and desire to help the deaf and to make it possible for their lives to be changed.
This restaurant, Bread of Life, is a unique feature in the central coastal city of Da Nang and is not only due to the warm atmosphere and the delicious Western food. It stands out because the owners, Catherine and Bob Hoff, have done something bold and extraordinary. Opened in 2005, the restaurant has employed deaf young men and women for almost all of its positions. All the profits support projects for the deaf.
Bread of life in Vietnam, Ban Sua Sam, certainly the bread that gives life. But also for us as Christians, Jesus told us that I am the bread of life, and it's through His life that we are able to give life to others. And so for us, Bread of Life has a very special meaning.
Starting out as a bakery and coffee house, Bread of Life now has a full menu offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 6 days a week. Bob and Catherine has been training young deaf people aged between 16 to 26 in sign language, life and vocational skills, and providing them with employment opportunities in the restaurant. Bread of Life now has some 20 deaf employees who take full charge of running the restaurant. So, Catherine, can you introduce different areas of the kitchen?
Oh, sure. This is the baking area. We have the baking area, then we have the cooking area, and then we have the barista area where they make the drinks. So we have three main areas. We've got the head deaf in every department, and then the one under them that's been with us a long time, one overall, and then the new people then train under them. But all the kitchen staff are deaf, and they do everything.
So they make decision on the ingredients as well?
Well, they have the recipes, and so then they know who is supposed to make what, when, and they keep inventory, and so they replenish the foods as necessary, but they make all those decisions. They do the day-to-day operations in the kitchen, and they do a really good job.
So there's one thing I've been wondering, is there any difference between a kitchen run by deaf people and kitchen run by ordinary people?
Yes, absolutely. One noticeable difference is it's quiet. You don't have anybody yelling. It's all done by sign. And they're all talking by sign quickly, easily, and it runs very smoothly. And there's one more difference. The way we take orders is different from an ordinary restaurant. I'll show you how it works.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Well, with the deaf, you have to do it a little bit different and accommodates them. For one thing, we have a light that turns on when there is an order that comes down the chute from upstairs. Then the deaf know that the order's there by the light, and then they get the order form. It's similar, this is one of the order forms.
It's very different from other restaurants when people kind of ring a bell or create some kind of sound so that the cook can pay attention, right?
Yeah, they'd ring a bell or some other sound usually. Yeah. But here, the light, they can see the light, and that calls their attention.
I'm the head chef at Bread of Life. I manage and support everyone in every department. I have everyone improve their skills and encourage them every day. Having been promoted to this position, I'm very grateful to Bob and Kathleen. Without their help, I couldn't have made it this far. I can feel how much Bob and Kathleen love all of us here.
They're not just employees, but as you say, they're family.
Yes, they are. They're very lovely. Very yaitun. Everybody watches out for everybody, and I'm quite strict. I'm the mom of everybody, and they all get hugs, but also I expect them to do a good job, to work hard. Like it would be with your kids, where you are strict with your kids, but you love them. That's the kind of relationship it is.
As usual, the restaurant gets most crowded around 12:30.
Food's always great, food's always fresh, good service. It's really making a difference in young lives here. The deaf sometimes are probably not considered as much as they should be, and so as a business and as an outreach for the community, it's really good, making a real difference.
It was the best pizza that I've had since I've been traveling. When I came in, everyone was really, really friendly to me. So there was obviously a communication barrier, but when I came in, they were all smiling and very welcome. It's a much homier atmosphere than other restaurants that I've been to.
It's a little bit of a shock to me. Everything just seemed to be natural with them. I didn't know that most of them, or all of them, were deaf, because I see they communicate really well. And I'm thinking, being deaf, how are you meant to communicate back to them? But they do it well, and they watch your eyes a lot, and things like that.
I'm very happy to work here. Breath of Life has taught me a lot since I got here. I have learned sign language, English, and so much more. Bob and Kathleen are foreigners, but they understand us so well and help us a lot.
The young people that work with us have no disability. Everyone here speaks their language, which is sign language. That's their heart language. And they have social life. They have, everything that you and I, opportunities that you and I have.
They have respect, love, opportunity for advancement in your work, and then you can have a social life. And so their life is very whole and very complete.
Today, besides work, all the staff at Bread of Life has something different to look forward to. One of the staff has their birthday today.
Every birthday, we have a list of birthdays. The deaf buy fruit and a cake, and we all have a party about 2 in the afternoon, because by then, most of the customers are finished eating and there's not many left. And it's kind of a quiet party because deaf are, so we don't bother other people, but it's very happy. They sing happy birthday to the person and make that person special. They feel special.
Besides Bread of Life, Bob and Kathleen also supports many other projects for the deaf in Central Vietnam. Central Deaf Services, founded by 2 Americans, Jeff and Nancy, is one of such projects.
So Jeff was the manager at Bread of Life prior to opening this. And Jeff has a master's in deaf education, and Nancy has a master's in education. And we've always wanted to start a school like this, but we didn't have the credentials as much as Jeff and Nancy, and they really have the degrees, the credentials, the experience. So this Central Deaf Services was an outgrowth of what we do at Bread of Life, where we help the deaf with skill training, and here they help the deaf learning sign language.
Central Deaf Services teaches sign language for deaf people of all ages, their families, friends, employers, and anyone who wants to learn to communicate with the deaf. Here, learners get to learn not only the language, but also soft skills and can socialize with others.
We helped in the establishment of this center, and obviously we have a heart for the deaf, and our desire is to see many people come to a better understanding of the deaf and of being able to work with the deaf. And so we come here as interested parties to see how the classes are going and just to visit and encourage.
The biggest difficulty when teaching sign language is that the children often lose their attention during the lesson. Despite that, I enjoy teaching sign very much. I feel happy and excited whenever I have a class. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday in the central city of Da Nang. As always, Bob and Catherine spent their only day off from the work at Bread of Life on leisure activities they like the most, riding the motorbike around the beach city and shopping at local markets.
I love to go to the market. The supermarket, you don't get to know the people. In the traditional market, I like it so much better. I have certain markets, certain places, I know everybody. I've seen them from the time they have babies, now their children 15 years old. It's really fun to see people change and be close with them. Khỏe. Ôm xã, mưa mẫu hoa, màu sáng, màu trắng. We really enjoy it. The quality of life is good. We meet so many wonderful people, and so many people have a good heart here. There's a lot of people, a lot of people with good hearts here.
Vietnam's a very pleasant place to live, particularly Da Nang City. We love Da Nang City.
It's not only the land that Bob and Catherine have fallen in love with, but also the people. All the employees at Bread of Life have now become like family members to them. Today, Bob and Catherine are visiting Chung and Na. Both are employees at Bread of Life, and they've got married last year.
Bread of Life is like a matchmaker for me and my wife. I fell in love with my wife, Na, the first time we met at Bread of Life. She's very lovely. After dating for about 1 year and a half, we got married, and now we have a beautiful baby. Today, I'm very happy that Bob and Kathleen visit us at our house.
It's thrilling because they're really a good match for each other. They both are very nice kids. They don't get angry. To see them in their house is really thrilling because you can see more into their heart, more into their life. Put the ducky in it. There. You can sit in there. Quack, quack. The ducky's in. Quack, quack.
I think we have done what we had hoped to be able to do when we came to Vietnam.
Working with the deaf, changing their life. Some of them before had nothing, had no life, didn't know sign, but now they're growing, prospering. Many are married with children. They all have a social life. They all have income. They all are proud of their work. They're all doing a good job. They're all contributing to society. They feel good about themselves, and others seeing them, they see the difference too. That is magnificent.
So we've just met with Bob and Catherine Huff and all the lovely staff at Bread of Life. It's now time for our Timeout segment. And as always, our reporter will give you some suggestions on how to make the most of your free time here in Vietnam.
As little kids, we all wanted to become our favourite movie characters like Captain America, Superwoman, Jedi, Harley Quinn. And so some even took their childhood dream into the adult's life. This was first called cosplay by manga publisher Takahashi Nobuyuki in 1984. Since then, cosplay has grown exponentially as a global hobby. You may have known of the awesomeness of your cartoon character as well as how extravagant they could be. So why don't you actually become one of them yourself? This brings us to our cosplay shop here at Soulmate, where we learn how to become a cosplayer in this edition of Time Out. Founded in 2009, Soulmate's cosplay shop is among many headquarters for Hanoian cosplayers since the culture's emergence in Vietnam. Here you can find everything a cosplayer needs, from costumes, makeup, wigs to weapons. For around 30 bucks, you can turn yourself into your fantasy hero. The best way to learn how to become a cosplayer is to actually be one of them yourselves. And today I get to do that with the help of our expert Phượng. So hỏi, chào bạn, bạn có thể giới thiệu cho mình là đến với cosplay thì đầu tiên chúng ta cần những gì được không?
Đầu tiên việc quan trọng nhất là bạn phải lựa chọn nhân vật yêu thích của mình, bởi vì để cosplay hết thần thái của nhân vật thì việc đầu tiên là bạn phải yêu thích nhân vật đấy và bạn phải hiểu về nhân vật đấy. Ngoài ra thì một nhân vật có thể có rất nhiều bộ trang phục khác nhau, lúc đó bạn sẽ phải xem và bạn lựa chọn những trang phục phù hợp với mình nhất.
And my character is Naruto, a resilient ninja who is kind and determined to follow his dream no matter what. The franchise, the same name, achieved gross profit of $10.8 million.
Đầu tiên bạn phải nghiên cứu về nhân vật trước. Cosplay điểm quan trọng nhất là bạn phải giống nhân vật đấy, càng giống càng tốt. Bạn sẽ phải xem các cái tra rồi xem các cái phim hình cũng như các cái hình ảnh để bạn có thể nhìn được cái bộ trang phục từ mặt trước mặt sau.
So now that we've got the costume ready, what's really important right now is we get the accessories done. And with the accessory of my character Naruto, we have the kunai. And to help me do that, we have our weapon expert, Phúc. Okay, so bạn có thể chỉ cho mình cái cách làm như thế nào để bạn có thể làm được một cái kunai cho Naruto không?
Với một dụng cụ nhỏ như kunai này và làm tùy theo mức độ chi tiết thôi, thì mình nghĩ là khoảng từ 1 đến 2 tiếng đồng hồ. Thường thì ở Việt Nam mình dùng những cái phụ kiện đi từ những cái vật liệu rất đơn giản thôi, rất là dễ mua, bút chì, thước kẻ và dao dọc giấy. Mình sẽ vẽ lên hình dáng trên tấm format này. Mình sẽ cắt nó ra. Mài bóng và cuối cùng là sơn. Mình sẽ bổ sung thêm những cái phụ kiện cần thiết nữa, ví dụ như là mình cần quấn dây da vào này.
So makeup is actually an essential part of becoming a cartoon character like Naruto, and today I have the help of our makeup artist Thảo, who will be showing us how to become Naruto through makeup. Chào Thảo, vậy thì Thảo có thể nói cho mình là để biến hóa thành Naruto thì bạn phải dùng make up như thế nào được không?
Naruto thì có một cái đặc điểm rất là đặc trưng, đấy là anh ta có 2 cái ria, 3 cái ria ở bên này. Và khi mà cosplay mỗi nhân vật nào thì điều quan trọng nhất là bạn phải có một lớp nền rất là mịn màng, bởi vì là nhân vật trong truyện tranh thì ai cũng có một làn da rất là đẹp. Cái phần mắt rất là quan trọng bởi vì là nó sẽ tái tạo lại cái hình ảnh mà bạn cosplay cái nhân vật đấy. Kẻ mắt sẽ rất là đậm và có thêm một cái đường mí giả trên này. Cái lông mày sẽ phải cùng màu với cả cái tóc giả mình đội trên đầu và thêm 3 cái ria nữa.
Never felt sexier. Now's the time for the hair. Yeah, totally feel like a changed man now. So if you want to experience this for yourself, why don't you come down here and have a look for yourself? You know, some wig and makeup are not going to kill you. So thanks for watching this edition of Timeout, and until next time.
episode of Expat Living. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please send us your comments and suggestions to expatliving@vtv.vn. And you know what? You can always find repeats of our programs online at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtvgo. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And this is Lan Anh. I see you again next time. Goodbye for now.